Okay, in this video we're going to look at the solutions to Summer 2023 M7. We've got paper 1, which is non-calculator, and paper 2, which is calculator. Okay, question 1. It says there are 30 pupils in a class. 3/5 are girls, so 1/5 would be 6 pupils. 3/5 then would be 3 times 6, which is going to be 18. So the number of pupils in class are 18. If they're a total of 30, that means 30 minus 18 is 12, 12 boys. 2/9 of the girls are absent, 1/9 absent. 1/9 of the girls would be 2, so 2/9 would be 4. So the number present is 18 minus 4 is 14. And then 25% of the boys are absent. 25% is a quarter. A quarter of 12 would be 3. And that means there's 9 that are present. What fraction of pupils are present? There's a total of 23 out of 30, and you can't cancel that down. So that is, 23 out of 30 is your answer. Number 2 says the pulse rate of an athlete is taken before and after training. His pulse rate was 54 beats. After training, it increased by 1/6. So the easiest way to do it is do 1/6 of 54, and that is 9. And then that means his new pulse is equal to 54 plus 9, which is 63. It says show that each beat now lasts less than 1 second. So we'll say time for one beat is going to be, so he does 63 beats in a second. So the time for one beat is 60 divided by 63. That's going to be seconds, i.e. less than 1 second. Next question. It says we've got 2 fair spinners are each spun once. So the numbers are on the first one are 10, 20, 30, 40, and the numbers on the second are 1, 2, 3. So the score on each spinner are multiplied together. Complete the table of the outcomes. So 1 times 10 is 10, 1 times 20 is 20, 1 times 30 is 30, 1 times 40 is 40, 2 times 10 is 20, 2 times that is going to be 40, then 60, then 80, and 3 times that is going to be 30, then 60, 90, and 120. What is the probability that the outcome is 60? So 60, you have 2 ways of getting 60. So 2 ways of getting 60. So the probability of getting a 60 is 2 out of, and you've got 12 possible outcomes, 2 out of 12, which is 1 over 6. What is the probability the outcome is less than 40? So less than 40 is 10, 20, 30, 20, 30. Any other ones there? No, that's us. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probability less than 40 is 5 out of 12, which can't be cancelled. Next one, it says the probability that a child is left-handed is Q. What is the probability is not left-handed? That's you're left-handed or you're not, so 1 minus Q. Next one says, given that 23 times 146 is equal to 3,358, write down this thing. So to get from 23 down to that, what you do is you divide by 10. To get from this down to this, you divide by 100. So overall, that means you're dividing by 10 and 100, which is the same as dividing by 1,000. So my answer is going to be 3.358. Part B says show clearly how you do it, and they estimate the answer. So this is where you round everything to 1 sig fig. So to 1 sig fig, it becomes 200 times 30 over 0.5, and then just work out that top line. 2 times 3 is 6, and then you've got 3 zeros, and then divided by 0.5. Dividing by 0.5 is the same as multiplying by 2, so it's going to be 12,000. Next page. In April, 30 males and 20 females took a driving test. 50% of the males passed, 40% of the females passed. What percentage of people who took the test failed? Okay, so you had 30 males, so that's 30 out of 50. That was male. And then you had your females were 20 out of 50. And then either passed, or we'll say I didn't pass, passed, or didn't pass. And we're looking for these ones who didn't pass. 50%. I'm going to write that as 50 over 100 of the males passed, 50 over 100 of the female of the field then, and of the females, 40% passed. That's 40 over 100, and then 60 over 100. And we want to find what percentage of people took the test failed. So not passed and not passed. These are the 2 branches we want You can do a bit of cancelling down. I thought it might be easier if I didn't, so we'll see if I'm right. So that's 30 over 50 times 50 over 100, or it's going to be 20 over 50 times 60 over 100. And then if we just do that out, what can we do and make life a wee bit easier? Well, we'll just, we'll just multiply it out. 30 times the 50 is 1,500. 50 times that is going to be 5,000. Again, that's going to be 1,200 over 5,000. Add those, you're going to get 2,700 over 50,000. And then get rid of a couple of zeros, cancel down, you're going to have 27 over 50. And then you want to get that out of, as a percentage, you want to get it out of 100. So that's going to be 54, which is 54%. If I've made a mistake, let me know in the comments. I'm sure you will. So that's 54%. And next one, it says describe fully the single transformation which maps the shape A onto the shape B. So if I just trace over that as I would in an exam, and then you can see I can just take this and it just moves up to here. So it just moves up like this. So what is a translation? That's all it is. So it's a translation. First of all, that gives me 1 mark, and I will just move this point to this point. So how it moves, it goes 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up. Is that right? So it goes 3 to the right, so 3, and then 9 up. So translation 3, 9. Next question. Sketch of a parallelogram is shown. Use your ruler and your protractor to draw this. Draw an accurate diagram of the parallelogram. So again, to do this, I would do my horizontal line first of 9 centimeters. I would then use my protractor to do 110 degrees. This angle then I would also do, just to make sure I've got it right, and this angle would be 70 degrees. Because remember, this one over here would be 70 degrees. So I'm not doing this accurately, but I'm showing you what you would do. And then these lines then, you have to make them 7 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and then it should link up nicely then up top. So mine wasn't drawn accurately, but you can see how you would do that accurately in an exam. Okay, very tough question, and this is where we start. These are a bit of an overlap from the M4 questions. So this is really an M4 exam question as well. It says Tony owns a pizza takeaway. Every time he sells 100 pizzas, he records a number that were pepperoni. The table shows some of his data. So how they've got this relative frequency, this is 17 pepperonis divided by 100 pizzas. Okay, how they've got this next one, 0.2. It's 17, so this is like your frequency, and then this is your cumulative frequency, your running total. So that's going to be 40, and then 63, and then 63, 88 that's going to be, and we'll need to work out these missing ones. So this one is 40 divided by 200. This one would be 63 divided by 300. This one would be 88 divided by 400, and 88 divided by 400 would be 0.22. So this last one here is going to be x over 500. So x over 5, I'll write that over here, sorry, x over 500 is equal to 0.23, which means x equals 500 times 0.23, which is the same as 5 times 23, which is 115. So I can change that now. That's now, I've worked that out, that's 115. And then to get this thing, it's going to be 115 minus 88. So whatever that's going to be, 27, yes, 27 is what that's going to be. All right, so that's very tough for 4 marks. Tony uses his data to predict the next year's pizza sales. So the best, really they're testing your understanding here that the best estimator is this one here when you've used 500 things in total to get you that roughly every 0.23 times you sell a pepperoni pizza. 0.23 is 23%. So we know 23%. Tony uses data to predict next year's pizza sales. He thinks he will sell 2,300 pepperoni pizzas. So that means 23% of what he sells is going to be 2,300. and you want to get back to how many pizzas he sells in total. So you want to find what 100% is going to be. So to do that, you divide that by 23, and then you multiply that by 100. So divide by 23 just goes to 100. Multiply by 100 is 1 with 4 zeros, which is the same as 10,000. Okay, number 9. Again, this is on the M4 paper. It says, by drawing a suitable line on a grid, solve the simultaneous equations. So this one's already drawn for us, thankfully. This one you've got to draw. So y is equal to 3x plus 3. So this has a gradient of 3, and it has an intercept. Gradient equals 3. Intercept is also equal to 3. So plot your intercept first. And then a gradient of 3 means for every 1 you step across, you go up 1. A gradient of 3 means for every 1 you go across, you go up 3. Or you could say you go up across 2 and you go up 6. So there's a point. And I could also do that the reverse. Every 2 I go back, I'll go down 6. So there you've got 3 points. Now you link those up with a ruler, which I haven't got with me. So you link those up with a ruler, and that's what you get. So draw that with a ruler, and that's your line y is equal to 3x plus 3. Now it says use those to solve, so you've got a few marks for doing this, and then your answer, this point here, is, if I'm right, minus 2 minus 3. So my x value is minus 2, my y value is minus 3. I'll just zoom in on that. You can see it's at minus 2 minus 3. So my x value is minus 2, my y value is minus 3. Okay, the next one says the first 4 terms of a sequence are 1, 4, 7, 10. So 1 to 4, you go up 3. 4 to 7, you go up 3. You go up 3. So that tells me there's a 3n involved. And then if I was to go back 3, that would give me minus 2. So that tells me there's a minus 2. So that's a very easy way to do the nth term. So that number, the common difference, gives you the number of n's. And then the number that you get when you go back, that gives you the number that goes out here. So it's just 3n minus 2. It says, hence find the nth term of the sequence. So treat the top line and the bottom line separately. Your bottom line is 1, 4, 7, 10. We've just worked that out. And your top line is 1, 4, 9, 16. That's just your n squared. So that is your sequence n squared over 3n minus 2. In standard form, it tells you 2 times 10 to the power of x times 2 times 10 to the power of x times 3 times 10 to the power of y equals 6. 10 to the power of 11. Work out what this left-hand side is going to be 6 times 10 to the power of x plus y. And this bottom line, 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. And times 10 to the power of x minus y. So you can see x plus y is the same as 11. And also x minus y. Sorry, that's a mistake. I should have said y minus x. Y minus x is the same as the 3. So that allows you to get the two equations. So x plus y is equal to 11, or y minus x equals 3. I'm just going to write that as minus x plus y equals 3. Dot, 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 equation 1, dot, 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 equation 2. Okay, adding those two, you're going to get 2y is equal to 14, which means y is equal to 7. So sub into equation 1. You're going to have x plus 7 is equal to 11, which means x equals 11 minus 7. X is equal to 4. So x equals 4, y equals 7. Nice but tricky question here. It says a semicircle and a triangle have the same perimeter. Find the exact value of r, giving your answer in terms of pi. So the semicircle then, the perimeter is a half of 2 pi r. That's what the whole circumference of a circle would be. Plus you've got the diameter, which is r. Sorry, this is going to be an r as well. So that's going to be plus 2r. So tidy it up. That's going to be pi r plus 2r. This one, for the triangle, you need to find that x. So by Pythagoras, 3 squared is equal to x squared plus 2 squared. We'll just tidy up as 9 is equal to x squared plus 4. 9 minus 4 equals your x squared. That means 5 is equal to x squared. And x is equal to the square root of 5. So for the perimeter of the triangle, you've got 3 plus 5 plus root 5, which is just 5 plus root 5. And those two things are equal. You're told they're the same, so that thing equals this. So put them equal. Just say pi r plus 2r is equal to 5 plus root 5. And then factorize out an r. You'll have pi plus 2 is equal to 5 plus root 5. And the question asks you to find r. So this whole thing is just multiplying. So when it goes across, it divides. So nice horizontal line. And that's what you're looking for. Okay, question 13. Dice is rolled once and the coin is flipped once. Here are 4 events. A is you roll the dice and get an even. B, you roll the dice, you get an odd. C is you flip a coin, you get a head. D is flip a coin, you get a tail. Write down 2 of the events which are independent. So rolling the dice and tossing the coin are independent. So you could have A and C. You could also have A and D. You could also have B and C. Or you could also have B and D. So any of those pairs would work. 2 events which are mutually exclusive. You can't have an odd and even at the same time. So A and B. And you can't have a head and a tail at the same time. So C and D as well. Last one of this is 2 events P and Q are mutually exclusive. What are the probability that either event P or Q occurs? So if 2 events are mutually exclusive, if you say the word or, then you add. So it's probability of P plus the probability of Q. And that's the end of paper 1. Okay, paper 2. And this is your calculator paper, remember. It says a game costs 22.99 euros, and the exchange rate was £1 is €1.10. So to get from euros back to pounds, you divide by 1.1, all right, 1.10. So just do your answer is going to be 22.99 divided by 1.10, and that works out to be 20.9, and it's pounds, so 20.90. Albert wants to buy a gold chain. Gold chains are priced by the length of the chain. An 18-inch chain costs 264. What will the price be for a 21-inch chain? So you want to just divide it by 18 and then multiply it by 21. So 264 divided by 18 times 21. Do it all in one go in your calculator. I got £308, and obviously you write that in the answer line. Next one says, Ellie and Tanisha are working out the sum of the angles and polygons. Ellie decides to split the hexagon below into triangles. Show how this can be done. So starting at this one point, there's 1 triangle, 2 triangles, 3 triangles. So you could do the same from any point. And you can see you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. So what is the sum of the angles in hexagon? It's 4 times the angles in triangle. 4 times 180, which is 720 degrees. Tanisha splits the decagon below into quadrilaterals as shown. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrilaterals. So what is the sum of the angles? You have 4 times a quadrilateral, 4 times 3, 60, which is 1440 degrees. Okay, next one says reflect this in the line in the x-axis. Your x-axis then, just going to highlight it in red. X-axis, whoops, is that line. So when you reflect, you're 1 square away, so that goes down to here. You're 1 square away, that goes down to here. You're 3 squares away, so that goes down to here. And then link that up as best you can. We'll just do this. Again, oh dear, far too quick. Again, I'm not doing this with a ruler. You would do this with a ruler in an exam. I'm just speeding through this, and that's what you've got. Okay, it says a rectangle of length 5 centimeters and width 8 is enlarged by a scale factor 4. So all lengths are multiplied by 4. 5 times 4 gives you 20, and 8 times 4 gives you 32. So 32. Breaking off with a question, this one, it says a new size breakfast cereal is sold in 3 different sizes box, and you've got a 500 one, and it says new size box will be made. It will have 20% more cereal in a 500 box. So we're just going to say the new box. We're going to work out what size it is. New box is going to be 1.2 times 500 grams, which is going to be 600 grams. The new cost is £1.56. So I'm going to say the cost per gram. So cost per gram, cost per gram then is going to be equal to, I'm going to do 156 pence divided by 600 grams. So whatever that is, 156 divided by 600. So that works out to be 0.26 pence per gram. So that's what it costs for the new box. Questions asked me why I'm doing this. Sorry, the question said to me, are you better off buying the new box or the 500 gram box? So for the 500 gram box, the cost of 500 grams box is equal to, it was 20p more, 20p less than the other one, so it's going to be £1.36. So we'll say cost per gram then is going to be 136 divided by 500. I'm going to imagine this is not a good value. And I'm right, which was 0.272 pence per gram. So will the customer who originally bought 500 grams get a better or worse deal in buying the new size? So the new one only costs 0.26 pence per gram, so it's going to be able to get a better deal. Okay, visitors in Northern Ireland were asked to name their favourite tourist attraction. So you've got all of these places: Giant's Causeway, Ulster Museum, Titanic, Belfast, Musselton Temple, Derry City Walls and other. The probability of Musselton Temple is the same as the probability of Derry City Walls. Complete the table below. First of all, we want to add these all up and take them away from 1. So 1 minus 0.3, 0.1, 0.14, 0.2 is the same as 1 minus, let's just work that out. 1 minus 0.3 plus 0.1 plus 0.14 plus 0.2 is 0.74. And when you do that, 1 minus 0.74, I got 0.26. And then you've got to do 0.26 divided by 2, which gives you 0.13. So 0.13 and 0.13. You could check those again, and I'm going to do that just 0.3 plus 0.1 plus 0.14 plus 0.13 plus 0.13 plus 0.2. And I've done that, and I've got 1, so it looks pretty good. What is probably the visitor named the Ulster Museum or Titanic? So you're just adding those two, so it's 0.1 plus 0.14, which is 0.24. Last week, 1,800 visitors were asked to name their favourite tourist attraction. Estimate how many said the Giant's Causeway. So it's 0.3 times 1,800. And again, calculator exam, write down what you're doing, but then that's all you do. That's all you're working out, so 540 people. Okay, right. A group of students visit a theme park on a school trip. The graph shows their journey. They leave school at 9:30 a.m. and arrive back at 4 p.m. So, what was the fastest stage of the journey to the theme park? Okay, so the fastest stage, that's easy. Then we don't have to do any working out here. The fastest stage is this first stage, as the line is clearly steeper than this one. So we don't have any working out to do that one. So it's just stage 1. How long did the students stay in the theme park? So they stayed from here to here. So what times are they? That's from 11 to, and that's split into, was it split into 4 sections? It is 4 sections. So that's, what's that going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4.5 hours. So I'll just say 4 hours, 30 minutes. Get rid of that. Next one then says, calculate the average speed on the journey back to school. So they've gone a distance from here to here, they've gone a distance of 20. And they're doing that in half an hour, is it? Was it 2 wee sections? Yep, half an hour. So 20 divided by 0.5, which is going to be 40, and then miles per hour. Oh, there we have it, 40 miles per hour. Okay, simplify. So this is just subtracting y to the power of 8 minus 2, so it's y to the power of 6. This one, bring all the x's to one side. you've still got the same inequality. So it's going to be 4x is greater than minus 12, which means x is greater than minus 12 over 4, which means x is greater than minus 3. So x is greater than minus 3. Next one says rotate the shape 90 degrees anti-clockwise at point about 0, minus 2. So 0, minus 2 is here. Using your tracing paper, you can do that, but I just like to use the old school method. I will rotate that wee L shape, so it goes now 4 up and 4 across, and then redraw my shape. So that point is going to be there. There's going to be a point here, and a point here. So very roughly, that's what I'm going to get. Write down the decimal number 19 as a binary number. The number which is a power of 2, which can fit in, biggest number which is power of 2, which can fit into 19 is 16. The next power of 2 down would be 8, it wouldn't fit in. Next one down would be 4, it wouldn't fit in. The next one's going to be 2, and it does fit in. And the last one is 1, and it does fit in. So it's going to be 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Sorry, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, next one says rearrange to make m the subject. So bring the 3m across to the other side. Then bring the y across. And then you do h minus y all over 3 is equal to your m. So m is equal to h minus y all divided by 3 is your answer. Regular polygon has an exterior angle of 15 degrees. How many sides has a polygon? So n is equal to 360 divided by e is the formula we're using. So 360 divided by 15. Use your calculator. 316 divided by 15 is 24. So 24 sides. Billy thinks all regular pentagons are congruent. Is he correct? Absolutely not. Congruent means the same size and shape. So there's two. There's a regular pentagon if you use your imagination. There's another regular pentagon. They're the same size. Sorry, they're the same shape, but they're not the same size. So absolutely not. Okay, Georgia rolls a dice a number of times and records the outcomes each time. She displays her results in this pie chart. So Alice thinks George's dice is biased. Bob disagrees. So it's to do with the number of times that the dice was rolled. So what more information is needed to decide? So say she only rolls this dice 12 times. This would be a perfectly plausible thing that could happen. But say she rolled it 600 times and there was way more 2s coming out than any other number, then you would think that's not good. And again, if he did it 6 million times and there were still way more 2s coming out than any other number, you would be starting to think this is really biased. But it depends on number of times. So if this was a large number of times, I would be thinking, yes, it's biased. If it's a small number of times, I think they haven't done this experiment enough times. So what more information would be needed to decide who's correct? You would need to know the number of times the dice was rolled. Okay, this one I have done out already because it's very hard to do on this. It said, draw the locus of all points which are the same distance from A to B. So the first thing you do, number one, is you draw an arc from A. So using your compass, open your compass up, sort of beyond halfway, about 3/4 of the distance between A and B. Draw an arc from A, then do the same from B, do an arc from B, and then they intersect at this point and at this point, and then your last thing is you draw a straight line. You draw a straight line linking the intersections of the two arcs. And this thing in blue, any point on this line will be the same distance from A as it is from B. So that's really, it's the perpendicular bisector of A and B. Okay, right, back to R1. Tough enough wee question, I thought this one. Cuboid B is an enlargement, scale factor 3 of cuboid A. So to get from here to here, I multiply by 3. To get back the way I would divide by 3. And that's to do with the lengths. So the volume of B is x centimeters. What is the volume of A? Right, so for length, to get from B to A, you would divide by 3. For area, to get from B to A, you would divide by 3 squared. And for volume, to get from B to A, you would divide by 3 cubed, which is what we're looking to do. So volume of B is equal to x. Your volume of A then is going to be equal to x divided by 3 cubed, and 3 cubed is 27. So it's going to be x over 27. Okay, how many more have we got to go here? Quite a lot. Okay, this one is about similar shapes again. Find the value of P. So here's P, it's on the small one, so I'm just going to say P over its corresponding side, which is 2.8, is going to be in the same ratio of this one over its corresponding side, so 1.2 over 1.6. That means P is equal to, multiply across by the 2.8. Do this using your calculator, using your fraction button. I think I got 2.1, let me just check. I did indeed, I got 2.1 for that one. Okay, find the value of Q. Let me get rid of my wee circles up above. So for Q, where is my Q? Q is on the bigger one. So Q divided by its corresponding side, 0.75, is equal to my length on the side of Q, which is 1.6, divided by its corresponding side, which is 1.2. There's lots of other ways of doing this question, but this is one way. So 0.75, so if you've done something different, got the right answer, you're going to get the marks for it, don't worry. And that, when I do that out, Q is equal to 0.75 times 1.6 over 1.2, and when I did that out, I got 1. Question 15 says, when a body is moving through the air resistance R is proportional to the square of the velocity V. So R is equal to K times V squared. At a velocity of 100, the air resistance is 50. So put 50 in for your R, and instead of your V, write 100, and it's getting squared. So 100 squared is 10,000. That's 10,000 K. And then 50 divided by 10,000 is equal to your K. So K works out to be 1 over 200. So your R now is equal to 1 over 200 times V squared, and you could write that a wee bit nicer as V squared over 200. Next part says find R when V is equal to 120. So R is going to be equal to 120 squared over 200. Just fire that into your calculator. 120 squared divided by 200. R works out to be 72. Okay, next one says the probability that it rains in Ireland on a given day in December is 0.62. Complete the tree diagram to show the information for Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So Christmas Day, it could rain or not rain. Boxing Day, it could rain or could not rain. And then you just fill this in. So Christmas Day, it rains is 0.62. And then 1 minus 0.62. Can't believe I did that on my calculator, but I did. And that is 0.38. And then they're going to be the same all the way along. So that's what you've got. It says, what is the probability that it rains on exactly one of those days? So it could rain on Christmas Day, not rain on Boxing Day, or not rain on Christmas Day, but rain on Boxing Day. So that's what you're looking for. So it is 0.62 times 0.38 plus 0.38 times 0.62. And that's all you're doing. So you're firing that into your calculator. 0.62 times 0.38 plus 0.38 times 0.62. Press equals and get it as a decimal, 0.4712. And that is the end of this paper.